In the Adriatic Sea, where the deep blue meets a cloudy sky, stands a small island called Poveglia. Tourists know it only as a shadow in tales, and books only mention it with the heavy title, Plague Island. The dark beginning in the 14th century, when the plague swept across Europe, Italian cities were nothing more than open-air death theaters. Infected ships were sent to Poveglia, a warehouse for people rejected by the land and the city. They unloaded the sick on the shore and left them in deserted huts among the wild olive trees, where they awaited their end. There, the doctor was not a bearer of hope, but a dark angel watching from afar. Their bodies burned in communal pits, their ashes blending with the earth until it was said that half the island's soil was made up of the ashes of the dead. Sounds and shadows. The inhabitants of nearby Venice called it the Island of Spirits. Anyone who sailed a boat near it would hear whispers or see a light dancing among the ruins. Fishermen avoided its shores, preferring to lose their livelihood rather than face the invisible eyes watching them from the fog. Forgotten figures. Old tales mention a man named Matteo Galdi, a young doctor sent with the first batch of wounded. He believed that isolation might give them a chance at life. But he, too, fell among its victims, and his grave, unmarked, remained etched in the island's memory alone. Centuries later, in the early 20th century, a mental hospital was built on the ruins of the burned-out fields. There, a doctor worked who is said to have performed cruel experiments on patients and eventually threw himself from the bell tower, as if the island had swallowed him up as it had thousands before him. A symbolic environment today, the island is immersed in a wild greenery. Wild vines embrace the walls of the abandoned hospital, and seabirds hover above the leaning towers as if guarding untold secrets. The smell of salt mingles with the scent of ancient ash, and the sound of the wind drifts through broken windows, echoing the moans of those who never left. Cultural meaning. Poveglia is not just a piece of land, but a mirror of another face of Europe, the face that hides death behind carnival masks and palaces. It bears witness to how humans dealt with fear, by isolating, forgetting, and letting the place wither away on its own. That's why it was called Plague Island, not only because it welcomed its victims, but also because it preserved their echoes forever.